On July 9, 2006, the top footballer of his generation was 10 minutes from a flawless exit. Then, in 10 seconds, he tore everything apart. By that year, Zinedine Zidane had claimed every major prize in the sport: the World Cup, 2 Champions Leagues, 3 Player of the Year awards. Yet his foundation was built far from the pristine pitches of elite European stadiums. He was the son of Algerian immigrants, raised in a notoriously tough housing estate in Marseille. No money, no deep connections, just concrete and a ball. At 34 years old, this tournament was his declared finish line, a final, highly scrutinized campaign to close out his career on top. He carried 2 distinct identities onto the pitch: the refined, commanding global icon and the fiercely loyal kid from the Marseille blocks. And that tension was about to be pushed to its absolute limit. Going into the tournament, the French national team was in collapse. They were on the verge of failing to even qualify, forcing management to call Zidane out of retirement to rescue the campaign. He answered the call and dragged them through the group stages. In the knockout rounds, he systematically dismantled a formidable Brazilian squad, then pushed past Portugal, sending the country into a frenzy. The run culminated here, the Olympic Stadium in Berlin, 80,000 people in the stands and billions watching the broadcast. Standing between Zidane and the ultimate exit was a hardened, defensively brilliant Italian squad. The dynamic was clear. Without Zidane, France struggled to function. With him, they were lethal. He stepped onto the grass carrying the full psychological and physical weight of an entire nation. 7 minutes in, France earns a penalty. Zidane steps up to the spot and casually chips the ball down the middle, off the crossbar and over the line. A startling display of arrogance in a final. But the lead didn't hold. Italy equalized 12 minutes later, locking the game into a grinding 1-1 draw that eventually forced extra time. The pace took a severe toll. At 34, Zidane was visibly exhausted, pulling oxygen and running heavily on pure adrenaline and will. Yet, in the 100th minute, he found a burst of energy, driving a powerful header on target. Gianluigi Buffon met it with a staggering fingertip save, denying the victory by centimeters. His legs were heavy, and the sporting stakes were at maximum. But as a football player, his focus and composure remained completely intact. Then comes the 110th minute. Zidane is jogging slowly down the pitch, directly next to Italian defender Marco Materazzi. Materazzi reaches out and grabs a handful of Zidane's jersey. Zidane pulls free and tells him, "If you want my shirt that badly, I'll give it to you after the game." Materazzi doesn't back off. He steps close to Zidane's ear and mutters a brief sentence. Zidane continues to walk away. 1 step. 2. 3. Then he stops dead and pivots back toward the defender. He lowers his head and drives it straight into Materazzi's chest. The Italian drops to the turf. The referee immediately pulls the red card. The greatest player on the planet walks off the field for the last time. He walks straight down the tunnel, passing the gold trophy without a single glance. The broadcast captured a stunned silence in the stadium. Viewers around the world watched a man willingly discard a perfect exit, completely unaware of what had just triggered it. For days, the exact words spoken remained a mystery. Materazzi denied saying anything severe, claiming he barely knew who Zidane was. The clarity only came when professional lip readers were brought in to analyze the high-definition broadcast angles of the confrontation. The analysis revealed the dialogue. Materazzi had said, "I wish an ugly death to you and your family. Go fuck yourself, son of a terrorist whore." He had specifically targeted Zidane's mother and sister. Growing up in the rough quarters of Marseille, Zidane had made it a public pillar of his life that protecting those 2 women was his absolute first priority. The headbutt was not the result of sporting pressure. In that brief moment, Zidane was forced to weigh the polished legacy of a football icon against the strict code of honor he learned as a kid in the streets. He chose his family. The immediate cost was severe. Down to 10 men, France lost the ensuing penalty shootout. Zidane watched from the locker room as Italy celebrated on the podium. Years later, when asked repeatedly if he wished he had walked away, his answer never wavered. "I would rather die than apologize to that man." Today, the technical details of that match have mostly faded from public memory. Few can name the penalty takers. Yet the image of Zidane's exit remains sharp. By abandoning his carefully maintained public persona to defend his bloodline, he added a layer of profound rawness to his story. We expect our sports heroes to operate like machines, immune to the provocations that affect the rest of us. But true legends endure precisely because their most destructive moments reveal the human being underneath.